Good morning, class. Today we start in class 9, Economics, chapter 3, Poverty as a Challenge. And this is our third lecture, and our first topic is poverty line. So, class, in previous classes we have discussed how poverty line is calculated, and there are some other points regarding poverty line. So, in India, those families who live in rural areas which earns rupees 4,080 per month is considered as below poverty line, and those people who in urban earns rupees 5,000 per month is considered as below poverty line in the urban areas. So there are so many poverty line estimates which are calculated by the different institutions in the country. So basically the poverty line is estimated periodically, normally every 5 years, by conducting simple surveys. These surveys are carried out by the National Sample Survey Organization. So these surveys are done by the NSSO, that is National Sample Survey. National Sample Survey Organization. So this data is collected by the NSSO all over the world, and there is also a poverty line made by the World Bank. According to World Bank, those people who don't earn $1.90 per day is considered as below poverty line in the world. So according to the World Bank report, he has given a line that a person in any country who is not able to earn $1.90 per day is considered as the below poverty line. So let's move to our next topic about the poverty estimates. So basically, class, in the poverty estimates, India from about 945% in 1993. So basically, India in 1993, the poverty in India was 45%, and it decreases to 37.2% in 2005. So the motto behind this rating is to decrease the poverty ratio in the country. So there are so many numbers and so many years, which means that the poverty has decreased between some period of time to different period of time. So class, let's move to our next topic. So class, our next topic is vulnerable groups. So let's see what were the major actions taken by the government for the upliftment of these vulnerable groups in sense of growth of their economy. So let's see in this topic we know that STs in these vulnerable groups, STs are 43% poor, and in SC it's about 59% of the people in SC in scheduled caste are still below poverty line, and 43% in scheduled tribe are still below poverty line. And there are some other measures, for example, who are agricultural laborers. Agricultural laborers are 34%. In agricultural laborers, basically who works on the other big farms of a landlord or a rich person in his village. So in India, still agricultural laborers are 34% who are below poverty line, and there are some other persons or people such as casual laborers. Casual laborers also 34% who are below the poverty line. So basically these are the structure in India where different people have different percent which comes under below poverty line. So about 50% of landless agricultural workers and 43% of the scheduled caste are also poor. So basically we know that in India under vulnerable groups there are so many castes or the tribes of people who are categorized in different sections and different percent, and all are below poverty line. So basically these are also done because the double disadvantages of being a landless casual laborers household in the socially disadvantaged social groups of the scheduled caste or a scheduled tribe population highlights the seriousness of the problem. So basically we know that in India in around 1990 it was 35%. So in India in around 1990 around 35% of the people in India were below poverty line, which were considered as the BPL. So, apart from these social groups, there is also inequality in incomes within a family. In poor families, all suffer, but some suffer more than others. Women, elderly people, and the female infant are systematically denied equal access to the resources available to the family. Therefore, women, especially and old people, are poorest of the poor. So basically in a poor family, all the members do not enjoy the equal basic rights in the family, such in matters like food, clothing, and other luxury of the life. So basically these are the major problems regarding the vulnerable groups in a society or in a country. So let's see our next topic, interstate disparities. So let's see what is interstate disparities. Poverty in India also has another aspects or dimensions. The portion of poor people is not the same in every state. Although state level poverty has witnessed a secular decline from the level of the early 70s. The success rate of reducing poverty varies from state to state. Recent estimates shows while the all India HCR was 21.9% in 2001 and 2012. States like Madhya Pradesh, Assam, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar and Odisha have above all India poverty line. So basically in India usually से disparities में हम देखते हैं कि जो HCR है इसको हम कहते हैं head count ratio. So head count ratio in India in the year 2011 and 12 was 21.9%. So basically the head count ratio was more in Madhya Pradesh, Assam, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar and Orissa. So basically head count ratio is an estimate which are taken in different parts of the states to count what percent of the people comes under the below poverty line. So Orissa continued to be the two poorest states in the poverty ratio of 33.7% and 37.6% respectively. So basically if we call Bihar, in Bihar that is 37.6% and in Odisha it is 33.7%. So basically if we compare both these two states, then Bihar is the poorest state in India and around here 37.6% people comes under below poverty line. So basically Bihar is the poorest state in all over the India. So along with the rural poverty, urban poverty is also high in Orissa, Madhya Pradesh, Bihar and Uttar Pradesh. So poverty in rural areas and in urban areas are different. So in comparison, this has been a sufficient decline in poverty in Kerala, Jammu and Kashmir, Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, Gujarat and West Bengal. States like Punjab and Haryana have traditionally succeeded in reducing poverty with the help of high agricultural growth rate. Kerala has focused more on human resources development. In West Bengal, land reforms measures have been help in reducing the poverty. So what were the measures steps taken by the government to reduce the poverty of an area? So let's say measures taken by government to reduce what measures were So first one will what? So a question arises here. What measures were taken by government to reduce poverty in states or in India? In different states. So first, if we talk about different states, so there are some states like Andhra Pradesh, Kerala, Gujarat, West Bengal, Punjab and Haryana have traditionally succeeded in reducing poverty with the help of the agricultural growth rate. So here are some states like Punjab, Haryana, Uttar Pradesh, Kerala, etc. reduce poverty by agricultural growth rate. So basically there are some states also, especially Kerala. Kerala has focused more on human resource development. So basically हम कह सकते हैं कि केरला है, उन्होंने अपने स्टेट्स में ह्यूमन रिसोर्स डेवलपमेंट स्टार्ट की, जिसके तहत लोगों को पढ़ाया गया, उनके हेल्थ का ध्यान रखा गया, जिससे वहाँ पे जो पॉवर्टी है बहुत ही हद तक कम हो गई. So let's see some other examples of other states like in West Bengal. In West Bengal, land reforms measures have to reduce poverty. In Andhra Pradesh and Tamil Nadu, mountain distribution of food grains. So there are some other states which have adapted so many different things, such as in Andhra Pradesh and Tamil Nadu adopted food grains, adopting public distribution of food grains. So basically, class, different states have used different strategies to reduce their poverty ratio in their own way. So Punjab, Haryana, UP, Kerala and etc. reduce poverty by agricultural growth rate, and second, Kerala has focused on more on the human resource development, and third, West Bengal adopted land reforms which ensures or which measures help the reduce poverty in West Bengal, and Andhra Pradesh and Tamil Nadu adopted public distribution system of food grains through which people who comes under poverty line may increase their health